What's up, guys? It's Ryu from Team Selfless, and this is going to be a pretty quick video where I explain the different way you see 1v1s tend to get played at the higher level of this game as opposed to like tier 2 or 2.5, 3, and lower. So the scenario I want you to picture in your head is that there's a CT, one CT remaining, and he's in the A site, and you're the last T remaining. And the CT knows where you are, so you can picture that maybe he peeked long and killed your teammate, and then you peeked him and took a shot, didn't kill him, and now he knows where you are. You know where he is, and it's a 1v1. What happens a lot of times in that lower skill level of the game, especially with players that just don't have as good of decision making or game sense, is the second they know that this player is here, and I should add in players that are super aggressive and trust 100% that they're going to win every 1v1. Are going to play it this way. They're going to say, like, okay, well, he just killed my teammate. I peeked and I shot at him. He knows where I am. I know where he is. I'm just going to push out, and I'm going to just try to take this 1v1. The reason that that's pretty bad, or could be better, right? If you play the percentages, winning a 1v1, maybe you're a really good player and you win 60 or 70% of them. But especially in a situation like this where you're going to have to be super exposed in the open, right? Either you're coming this way or you're coming this way. You're going to give them a big advantage, right? They can play an angle like this. They can kind of jump spot and peek and locate you and then be able to peek you safely. They can kind of they can play cover, right? They've got this huge impenetrable box that they can peek behind. They have a huge advantage in this particular fight. They're also on the high ground, right? They're also shooting down and you're having to shoot up. Not that much, but it's definitely something you have to account for. If you actually play this differently, and what you'll see a lot of like really high level players that are really good in those late round situations, players like Get Right, players like Hiko, players like Shocks. What they'll actually do is they'll play a safer angle, so maybe they'll like post on an angle like this, and they'll just wait. And it seems like, wow, they're just wasting time. But when you actually do that, so let's say that you peek this guy, he knows that you're here, and you took a couple shots, and he took a couple shots, and now you fall back, you kill all noise, and you just wait. When the clock gets low in that like 25, 20 seconds range, what happens, especially at the lower levels, if this is a maybe a tier 2 and lower player, they're gonna say like, okay, yeah, he's definitely going B, and they're gonna knife out and run towards B. Or even if they and if they do that, you can peek them, right? Like if you're here and you do trust your aim and you hear him running away, like, okay, yeah, he fell forward, he's running to B, you can peek out and try to kill him. Or you can let him rotate away, get a guaranteed plant, and now you have cover yourself that you can play in the 1v1. But even if this player doesn't rotate away, let's say they kind of call your bluff, they now have to worry about a lot more, right? They have to worry about like, okay, well, maybe he's going to go B. Or maybe he's going to go B and try to flank me. Like maybe he's going to come up bank and try to peek me. Or, maybe he won't walk through the bomb site, but there's a chance that he's going to go B. Or maybe he ran back long, so now I have to kind of peek long. And, maybe I have to peek super wide to peek long, which gives, which exposes him to a bunch of angles. Or you force them to have to play what most commonly you'll see a top level player do. They'll play a pretty safe passive angle, right? But they're going to concede a lot more ground and give you a lot more opportunity than if you just instantly try to take the fight with them. So when you're in these 1v1 situations, or when you're watching a match and you see a 1v1 when there's still a minute on the clock, notice how the different skilled players play it. And when you have this situation yourself, know that, like, yeah, you can sit there for 30 seconds and it feels like you're wasting time and you're going to get a little antsy and impatient, but so are they. And you can use this as a way to kind of defeat them mentally before hopefully you finish them off in a 1v1 where, you actually win the clean 1v1 gunfight. Or you take a gunfight that's way more advantageous for you than it would have been if you just instantly ran into the open and tried to take the 1v1 the second you spotted the other player. So I don't think this is a complicated thing. It's just one of those things. It's one of those concepts or one of those methods. It's not really a technique, but it's one of those things that people see all the time and don't understand it. And when you understand it, you're like, oh, well, that's really easy. That makes a ton of sense. But it can change the way you play, and hopefully it helps you win more rounds. And that's it. So appreciate you guys watching as always. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them here in the comments section on YouTube and or Instagram or wherever this video gets posted. And yeah, hope to see you guys on the next video.